Everyone's joining us. Good evening. Okay, well, for those who don't know, I'm Simon Lovesley, one of the co-organisers of the SailJuice Winter Series. I'm joined by Sebastian, who's our race officer for the day, and Tristan, who's from the club dealing with logistics. Tristan needs to sort of shoot off shortly, so if you have any questions, perhaps you can bring them in early. In terms of questions, if you could do them via the chat box, and we'll try and address them. Maybe you can try and perhaps do them as we go along. It'd be easy just to sort of fit them into the conversation. Right, a couple more sort of joining us. All right. So nice sunny day there at Datchet. I think we have similar winds tomorrow, but perhaps not that sunny, and looking rather cold. The beast from the east is coming in, so do wrap up warm. Right, so this is round 2 of the Selden SailJuice Winter Series. Sort of 2 in there. Last one was Datchet, that went well. Right, okay, we're going to try and just go through some of the logistics and some of the details from the shore side and onto the water. Right, most of the comms are all going to be online. There's been a WhatsApp group sent out. I think most people have joined it, but if you can join in, that's useful. And obviously the notice board online. There will be a notice board in the club, but we'll try and do most things online. It's easy these days, and also allows people to sort of have a bit of interaction. Okay, so hand over to Tristan, who will talk about the logistics. Wonderful view of Datchet there. So Tristan, over to you.
Yeah, perfect. Hi guys, I'm Tristan. I'm the one of the events coordinators at Datchet. Just going to run through the mostly arrival procedure and how we want everyone to sort of arrive and put their boat. Looking at the diagram, those of you who were here last year, it's pretty similar. You see the double handers and the single handers are in the red box, and the single handers are in the orange box on the left. We need to segregate the double hand single handers, the chaos trailers all around the site. We've had it before where we've had everyone at the top and it's taken 2 hours just to move cars out of spaces and boats out of spaces, and we're all late and it's not very good. So plan is you'll come through the gate, which is, you can see the bottom left where the little green Datchet or the Sailing Club sign is. There will be a car park marshal and a high vis meeting you at the gate. They'll instruct you to turn to the left up our up ramp. It's straight to the top. If you've got a single hander, you'll be told to park behind. You've got three barriers, orange barriers up there. You're told to go behind them. That's where you need to unhitch your trailer, take covers off for everything. There's a big green area. That's where the single-handed trailers are going to be kept. The idea is we want you to rig your boats as much as you can, and then take them, whether you can put it back on your trailer and take it up around the back of the clubhouse to launching area. If you haven't, I'm afraid you need to walk them up round to the single-handed launch area, which is the north side of the clubhouse. You see in the other yellow, orange box. Again, if you have got a car with a trailer, you can just rig it and then put it on the trailer. You can drive it up to this launching area and dump it, and then you'll need to take your car back down the other ramp, which is sort of in the middle of your screen, back down to the event car parking, which is down here, and you need to park your cars and everything down here. We can't have any competitor cars parked at the top because we got the gravel area where this double-handed offload area is, looks quite big, but we've got 2 big windsurf containers storage in there. So it isn't the biggest of areas. So all single handers, follow to the left. You need to take your boats off here and start rigging them. Take your cars back down to the event car parking area. Double handers and keel boats. So that's the important thing, like K1s, biggest thing. K1s are allowed in the double handed offload area because they are slightly heavier. You can take your...
Is that the South Pontoon, Ian Duke?
Yes. It will be South Pontoon, yes. Okay. With the it's got, you see a look. Yes, for the K1s. So double handers and K1s, take your boat straight up the top, past the single-handed zone. The red box that says double hand offload area, we want you to take your boats off your trailers, start rigging them there, and then we need to walk them over to the double-handed launch area, which is by this south slipway with the pontoon. That's going to be where all the boats are kept. Again, doing that as quick as you can. Then we need to take your car and trailer back down the bottom. Double-handed trailer parking is at the bottom on the big green area there. You need to take that down there and then park your car in the car parking area and up the stairs. Yeah, does everybody understand that? Any questions so far? Just bring up the chat box.
Okay.
Kilboats, yeah, that's only Ian's, that's fine.
Okay. Shoreside facilities.
Shoreside, got toilets, changing rooms, all with hot showers. The hot showers are in the back of the change rooms if you haven't been here before, just through a door. There is catering available. Keith, our caterer, franchise, he provides, he's here 9 till 5, serves nice bacon sandwiches in the morning if you fancy a bacon sandwich. There's coffees, cold drinks, everything, chocolate bars, anything you fancy, he'll be there. So he's open 9 till 5. Any parents who might be waiting for their children on the water, he's here all day. And we got our lounge upstairs. If you wanted to sit up there, really nice area. We put a little Santa's grotto up there. If you were here last year, you would have seen that. So that's a good little spectacle. We got access, just to kind of split it, we got a new door down the far end of the clubhouse. That's also now an access area. It's been all rebuilt. So there's 2 accesses. There's the main access, which those of you who've been here will know is at the front through the 2 main conservatory doors. We've also got another entrance at the far side, so that will be at the south side of the clubhouse itself. That will lead through the corridor to our changing rooms. Any questions with that so far? Can't see any. Yeah. As I say, the beach access, so our water, for those of you who don't know, our water is low like it was last year. Fortunately, because of our drought and all that, we haven't managed to gain all the water back yet. We have raised, but we haven't managed to get our beach back. So the 2 slipways for launching are our only options. Our plan is to launch as quickly as possible tomorrow. We have got a few beach helpers. There isn't as many, so if we can, we need to try and all work together to pull trolleys out and stack them up and just work as a team as much as we can, just to really speed the launching up. I'm going to have as many people as I can, but I can't guarantee floods of people on the launching.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, and that, I've got to say, there will be car park marshals at roughly every point, guiding you in the right direction. They're all volunteers, and they'll have high-vis jackets on. They'll be pointing you in the right direction. So any questions, go and see them or anyone wandering around in a high-vis, and they'll be able to answer any questions on the day.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you, Tristan, and all your helpers. I don't think there's any more questions, so if you need to shoot off.
No problem. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you. Right. Okay. So on to the formalities. We'll be running a registration desk from 9 o'clock. Claire will be running that, if you know that. For youth sailors, if you could bring your declarations with your local parentis or any contacts there, and we'll also need sort of emergency contacts from everyone and sort of any medical details you want to make the club aware of. Right. Okay. Everyone be issued with a tracker, which you need to use while you're out racing. Very useful in terms of scoring, things like these. These will be available to collect from 10 o'clock from the tables outside by the cafe in sort of order of surname. And importantly, bring them back after racing when you come ashore within protest time to avoid any penalties. Mount it on sort of ideally on your mast, sort of relatively high up, some on the boom or out of the way. That will be good. Right, the Selden sticker competition. Those at Datchet will be familiar with these. So you pick up a Selden sticker at registration, put it on your boat, and you chance to win one of these fantastic Selden ratchet blocks. We'll be giving one away on Saturday and one on Sunday for the best photos that Tim Olin, our photographer, appears, and also a third opportunity to win for the one who has the most sort of social media engagement, and we'll be giving that away on Thursday when Andy Rice and I will be running a Facebook Live. So 3 chances to win one of these fantastic Selden stickers. Any scoring queries? If you could just info them through info@sailracer.co.uk. Protest forms, hopefully you won't have any of those, but they'll be available from the club office in the day. Right, okay, so hand over to Seb now, our race officer, to talk through the format. So average laps on Saturday, Seb.
Okay. Yeah, good evening, everybody. Sorry, apologies for the dog. He decided to kind of, start barking. Thank you all for coming to Datchet again, and to SailJuice for choosing Datchet as one of their sailing venues. We have got a great weekend lined up in terms of some good wind, thank God. The beast from east, as Simon was saying, but at least we've got some wind. The forecast is 12, gusting 14, 16. In terms of the crew of the key officials, you've already spoken, you saw in the presentation by Tristan. So Tristan is the event director. We've got John Senior, who's the event safety officer, and then Ross Banham, who will be laying the marks. You've got, you should be familiar with the Datchet water. Apologies for the low water level. It is much better than it was a few weeks ago, so we should count our blessings in that sense. Hence the problems with getting onto the water. So please bear with us, but it should be straightforward. We've got there will be an official notice board in the club, in the wet bar. So any announcements or notices will be posted there. You've got the trapezoidal course in front of you. We are aiming for 3 races on Saturday and the pursuit on Sunday. We are starting race sequence at 11:55, so roughly kind of started at noon. Thank you. And there will be 2 starts, numbers above 10:50 and numbers below 10:50. So we are proposing to use numerals 1 and 2, so keep it simple in terms of the race starts. Because we are up to over 60 entries at the moment, which is great. Not quite as many as we had last year, which was 100, the maximum capacity. But I am suggesting we start on a U flag rather than a single prep. So no, individual recalls, I'm afraid. There will be just a general recall. Anybody over the line won't be classified for or given a finish time. We want to keep it going, is to be fair to everybody. There's a slight contradiction in the sailing instructions. Apologies for that. It doesn't matter how many times you look at the sailing instructions, there's always something that catches you out. But I am proposing a minute separation between the start of race 1 and the initial sequence of race 2. In the sailing instructions, it says that on start 1, the sequence of start 2 will start, but no, we'll have a minute. That gives us a bit of a chance to deal with a general recall.
And if there's a general recall on start 1,
so yes, thank you, Simon. Yeah, so if there is a general recall on start 1, we will restart start 1 rather than pushing them to be after start 2. Against my advice, may I say, but I've been outvoted on this one, so that's absolutely fine, just to keep the sequence. So if there's a general recall on start 1, we will restart start 1 and go on to start 2 after. What else? Weather's good. As I said before, we've got the beast from the east, so there's a nice breeze coming in. 10, 12 knots, so we should be able to get round the course nice and fast. We're aiming for a 45-50 minute race. So we're setting up the course to deal with the laser radials are the lowest or the highest pin numbers that we've got, the Great Lakes numbers that we've got. There's not many hazards on the reservoir, just to keep, you can't sail under the pontoon on the south side, but that will be quite obvious.
Okay. Well, one thing about finishing, we obviously go through the gate of every lap, but if you're once you finish, once the short flag goes up, if you could carry on racing through for about 20 seconds, it helps for sort of scoring. So rather than double back and come back through the line or clog up, if you just keep going.
Yes, it confuses things, doesn't it? And then for the pursuit race on Sunday.
Okay. So any questions? Yeah. We just ask any questions on the average laps on Saturday. I think the Finn is saying that there's obviously laser 4.7s. I think there's comments as well. So slightly slower boats in the radials, but not much slower. Yeah.
No, that's all straightforward.
Okay. Any other questions on the average laps on Saturday before we move on to Sunday?
No. And so yeah, Sunday is the pursuit. So you will have the minutes after the initial start. Yeah.
So the first thing to explain, I think, is it's split into two races effectively. The logic is something that Datchet came up with some time ago, but quite good logic is to give the faster boats more time on the water. Sometimes when you've got things like the Wasps and the Mouses they're barely out on the water, so we split into two. So the Finn and the Comet are the slowest in their respective fleets, starting at 0, as you see there.
Yeah.
And there is a notice of this posted on the notice board, so you can see the exact start times. Okay, and then the course is relatively simple this year, so isn't it?
Well, yes. Again, we've had debates about this. This is an indicative race for the Sunday pursuit. I would like to make it a little bit more interesting. This is a little bit boring, isn't it? I mean, yeah. It's a trapezoid. We don't want to do a trapezoid. We'll be announcing it on the day, in terms of if we confirm that it's just that, or do we do something more interesting? And
so it could be around the cans, then, could it, or something like that?
Yeah, I think count on it being around the cans. We it's wind dependent in terms of direction, so we're looking to make it not as interesting as it was 2 years ago, which was way too over the top. Yeah, so we'll announce that on the day. We'll put it on the WhatsApp group chat. Yeah, so it's a fun day. We'll make it a bit more interesting.
Right. Okay. So before we round up, any more questions for Seb?
No, I think the only other bit is to mention the prize giving will be on the Thursday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, go out there, have fun, and safe racing.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Seb, and we look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow.